Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Supporter EJ could turn to when the **** Verity comes out, and what Alex's story desperately needs. Who's that girl? The biggest thing to be this week was that Sloane eventually confessed to Eric that she stole Jude from Nicole while leaving out the part where he's the bio dad. While it's awful Nicole's suffering is over, this made little sense to me. Sure, Sloane's alarmed of going to captivity, but where's the Sloane who fights for what she wants, indeed, when backed into a corner? Nothing about her discussion with Melinda made it clear why she let EJ win. She's resourceful enough, she could have told Eric the whole verity while taking down EJ's influence. And where has this unforeseen love for Jude come from? She was getting drunk and begrudging him not long ago, which felt more true to her character. But all of unforeseen, she's a doting mama, happily feeding Jude his bottle and putting him down for naps. I could have bought the change of heart had we seen them relating, but we didn't. So, her pain from losing Jude is falling super flat for me. Though, Eric's response to her was fantastic. Also there's EJ. I do prefer his darker personality, but his stealing Jude from Eric is hard to swallow. It's clearly going to blow up in his face, leaving him with zero abettors. I, for one, wouldn't miss his and Nicole's smoopiness, and it could be an intriguing place to watch him wallow in for a while. But who'll he turn to? Melinda's going to need and support her should the walls near in on her. Now that she's DA again, she could do him favors in exchange for him ignoring the fact that she helped Sloane steal Jude in the first place. The heir-at-law and the extra. As for the Alex story, the biggest problem is there are no real stakes. For starters, we don't see the risk it's taking on his and Justin's relationship because they no way interact. It's probably due to Wally Kurth's General Hospital schedule, but hearing Alex dismissively call him Justin rather of Dad over the phone doesn't cut it. Alex furrows his brow at Xander, who looks off with a confused expression. Perhaps if Alex's spending spree gets out of hand or he invests in a bad deal or risks the company, there might some be weight to it. But as it stands, the reveal will just knock Alex down a many pegs. As for the real heir-at-law, Xander's life is the most perfect it's ever been. He has a respectable job, a fiancé, and a child. He doesn't need the heritage to save him. He's not indeed connected to any of the Kiriakis, except for Maggie, and they mutually adore each other. Since Sarah was so focused on his mama a couple of weeks ago, I need her to arrive in Salem to produce some annihilation just as her son's about to have it all. Is that who Serena Scott Thomas is playing? Who's the real villain? Back to Alex. While it's super muddy that he's going back and forth between Kristen and Teresa, I could live with it if I understood his provocations. We were led to believe he truly watched for Teresa, but also he tried to make her jealous despite her always wanting to be with him, which led him to sleep with Kristen. Now, he's inviting Teresa to move into the manse while still seeing Kristen on the side. But why? I catch myself feeling bad for Teresa, and also I flash back. She said all of this in stir by negotiating Alex as Victor's heir-at-law. But again, that's super inconsistent. She's putatively into Alex, but also just as plutocrat, and also Brady. However, it'd be one thing, but it feels more like durability issues, if these were all murky mysterious character choices. In their apartment, Teresa rests her hands on Alex's casket. Odds and ends. I've ignored my fair share of red flags in my day, but when Stephanie and Everett are out drinking, playing pickleball, and flirting, it feels like they in a different plot from the one where Everett doesn't flashback cheating on Jada with Stephanie and constantly switching personalities. Where's Rita? I need further of her than just getting screamed at outscreamed by EJ. Chanel wants to tell all her and Johnny's musketeers that they awaiting, except they've none. Confident, fascinating, 20 commodity Leo Howard should have been cast as part of their demographic rather of as the awkward teenage Tate. Side note: cheers to Johnny, who's refreshingly not like his controlling, tyrannous father when it comes to Chanel's opinions about her gestation. Johnny and Chanel grin at each other while sitting in the sanitarium lobby. She holds paperwork. Hopefully Felicity gets dilated out as a character. Making her Aaron's family is a great launch, and she did mention a Swain. Hey. Perhaps Rita is a relative. Another side note, Louis Tomeo is great as Aaron. Grounded on the establishing shots, Salem is a megalopolis, but the paper's gossip columnist thinks two high academy scholars sneaking around behind their parents' tails is a hot item? As the involved web of secrets and lies begins to unravel, EJ finds himself standing at the cliff of a disclosure that could shatter everything he holds dear. In this moment of extremity, he desperately needs a supporter, someone who understands the graveness of the situation and can give the support and guidance necessary to navigate the fallout. At the same time, Alex's story is in dire need of a dramatic twist, commodity that can reinvigorate his narrative and add depth to his character. The confluence of these two stories could produce an important and compelling drama, one that explores themes of treason, redemption, and the complications of mortal connections. EJ has always been a master of manipulation, using his charm and cunning to maintain control over his world. Still, the disclosure of the whole verity threatens to strip down the precisely constructed facade he has maintained for so long. The verity, which involves deeply buried family secrets and particular backstabbings, has the implicit to destroy his connections, his character, and his sense of tone. In this vulnerable state, EJ needs a supporter who can offer not only practical support but also emotional understanding. One eventuality supporter for EJ is Nicole, a woman with a complex history of her own. Nicole has endured her share of backstabbings and secrets, giving her a unique perspective on EJ's dilemma. Her own trip of redemption has tutored her the value of remission and the significance of defying the once head-on. Nicole's empathy and adaptability could give EJ with the strength he needs to face the verity, and her strategic mind could help him navigate the unfaithful waters ahead. Nicole's involvement in EJ's extremity would also serve to consolidate her own character bow. She has long plotted with her once miscalculations and the consequences of her conduct, and helping EJ could be a way for her to foster her own redemption. Their alliance would not be without its challenges, as their participated history is fraught with pressure and undetermined issues. Still, it's precisely this complexity that would make their cooperation compelling. As they work together to address the fallout from the disclosure, they would be forced to defy their own demons and reassess their relationship. Meanwhile, Alex's story is at a crossroads. His character has been mired in a cycle of repetitious conflicts and predictable plot lines, and his narrative desperately needs a fresh infusion of drama and depth. The disclosure of the whole verity could give just the catalyst demanded to propel Alex's story in a new direction. Alex has always been portrayed as a pious friend and confidant, someone who stands by those he cares about no matter what. Still, this fidelity has frequently been tested, and the verity about EJ could be the ultimate test. Still, his response could significantly impact his character development if Alex learns of EJ's secrets. Alex's original response might be one of shock and treason, feeling as though his trust in EJ has been fully shattered. This could lead to a period of soul-searching, as Alex grapples with the counter-accusations of the verity and what it means for his relationship with EJ. This internal struggle would add layers to Alex's character, showcasing his depth and complexity. Likewise,